Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Shastich Plays, and today we are going to be talking about my draft analysis for the UPBA Season 4. So yeah, we did take a nice, good break from the draft league scene, but we are now finally getting back into some singles Wi-Fi draft on Sword and Shield. I'm not super looking forward to re-experiencing the issues with LAN play, but you know what? I love playing Draft League, and this is honestly my favorite way to play Draft League is on the console, getting to see the mods in action and all the moves and stuff like that. And that's just, in my opinion, the best way to play mods. And yeah, so no shade to any Showdown players, of course. I mean, I started as a Showdown player in Draft League as well, but you know, I just love me some console games, and I'm very happy to be back in the UPBA. If you didn't know, I did compete in this league for season number 2, where we did make it all the way to the finals, where we unfortunately did have to hold that L against Aquarius. But we had an incredible season. We had a nice Sun team in that season with some choice banded Victini action throughout the season. All those videos are on the channel. You can go check out the playlists and everything like that if you want to watch my run. It was a great season. It was super fun, and I'm looking forward to seeing if maybe we can make it back to those finals and claim that championship this time. So, however, we have a lot of work ahead of us though, because this season there's 2 divisions of 32 total coaches, which is insane. Basically everybody in the draft league scene at this point that uploads consistently and stuff like that is in this. We got players like Jack Gravy, my friend Galadite, who is on my Unite team as well, is in this. JB Westside, Q the Costa Rican, Dr. Slacking, Foxatur. Like, there's just so many, and that's just ones in my division. There's even more on the other side, and that's just really cool. So lots of new faces that I haven't played with before, so that should be pretty fun. Hopefully it gets matched up with them throughout the season, but for the most part, a lot of my friends, a lot of people I've played with in the past and stuff like that, and a few that I've been in leagues and I've never actually matched up with, so that should be pretty cool. So alright, so yeah, this season though, we are allowing what we call S-tier Pokemon. So typically these are Pokemon that you would normally be seeing banned. So you can think of stuff like Magearna, Speed Boost Blaziken, Sheer Force, Landorus Incarnate, and then even some crazier stuff like Solgaleo and like Giratina Origin and stuff like that. So that there's a lot of crazy stuff in this draft, and yeah, there's gonna be a lot that we have to deal with. So I'm sure it's gonna make some good thumbnails nonetheless though. So alright, so we had the option of picking 10 to 12 Pokemon with 115 total points. Pretty cool. Kind of like a lower end, kind of on the lower end of the points. Typically you see somewhere around like 120 or so. So that's really nice. Make sure that you have to budget around trying to get all those high tiers and stuff like that if you can. We had 5 free agent transactions for the whole season. For battle wise, we can only use Dry Pass, and then all the standard smoke on clauses, like evasion, sleep, all that fun stuff. But we are allowing trapping abilities, which is pretty standard for a draft league. So there's a couple other like random rules, like we're not allowed to use like King's Rock and stuff like that, because they're just not like skill-based moves. So pretty standard draft league stuff though, for the most part, and I'm definitely looking forward to playing in this format yet again. So enough about all that though. We've been rambling on long enough. Let's go ahead and just finally get into the team, and we are going to be just looking at the team as a whole, because I don't like going pick by pick. It's kind of interesting, sure, you get to tell like a nice little story and stuff like that, but I don't think that you get the whole context of a team until you see the whole thing, and definitely that's what we're going to be doing here today. We got we got Mew, Excadrill, Hydreigon, Scolipede, Moltres, Hippowdon, Azumarill, Tangrowth, Hitmonchan, and Emolga. So a very, very solid team. We definitely went very high end, limiting ourselves to that 10 Pokemon limit, which is just fine with me. I am all for drafting top heavy as hell, and that's usually my drafting style anyway. So right off the bat though, we have Mew. Mew is an incredible Pokemon. It can do practically everything, especially with the additions of the TRs in Sword and Shield. This Pokemon's move pool, it was already insane, and it just got blown wide the hell open. And yeah, so the thing with Mew though, I think a lot of players fall into is they end up building their draft around Mew and kind of pigeonholing it into one role. Typically, because Mew is so versatile, you want to be drafting Pokemon and have a draft as a whole that's very versatile on its own. So you do not want to ever pigeonhole your Mew into any specific role, and I feel like I've done pretty well here. We have special sweepers, we have hazard control, we have hazard stack, we have defensive mons and stuff like that. So Mew can very easily take any role that I want to give it, and it isn't a detriment to the team at all, which I think is very nice, and I feel like I did pretty well with drafting around my Mew, in my opinion. However, though, there's a lot more to this team than just the Mew, which is very cool. We are going with the sand this time. You all know me, I always go some form of weather, and it's been a little while since I did sand. Honestly, the last time I did sand, I ended up getting a championship out of it, so you know what? Why not? Let's run it back, see if we can capture that magic again. We're going Excadrill with Hippowdon this time. I love Hippowdon, amazing sand setter. In my opinion, it's probably the second best sand setter in draft. I do love Gigalith because I think that is a very nice budget option. For the draft. It's typically the cheapest of the sand setters, you know, and it gets a lot of good synergistic moves to go with Excadrill. But this time I wanted to go Hippowdon. I just wanted to build a little bit tankier and stuff like that. And yeah, I think it works out well, especially because, you know, I just love Big Mama Hippo, you know. Excadrill though, on the other hand, one of my favorite Pokemon in draft as a whole. It's like seriously like top 3 for me. I love this Pokemon. It's incredibly versatile. Obviously, you can go like the Swords Dance, Life Orb, like Sand Rush Sweeper set, or if you want to, you can run like a Choice Scarf Sand Force, which is incredibly powerful, and people do not have calcs for that. They just do not think of that. Of course, Mold Breaker is an incredible ability. Levitate Mons it doesn't care about those, which is awesome. A lot of freaking teams sometimes don't even think about like abilities like Mold Breaker, so they will draft a Levitator, but you know, that doesn't matter to Excadrill, you know, your Rotom's still gonna die, you know, and I like that a lot. So yeah, the Pokemon is incredibly versatile. Rapid Spinner, can set up rocks, it can be a sweeper, it can be a wall breaker, it can do a lot of different roles, and it's talking to that versatility that I was talking about. So next up though, I really want to talk about a couple of other Pokemon, especially my Hydreigon and my Scolipede. So Hydreigon takes that special sweeper / wall breaker role, so I can run like maybe like a subplot Hydreigon. I can run like Choice Scarf, excellent Choice Scarfer. I can run like a Choice Specs breaker set with like Draco Meteor and stuff like that. So this is like a very, very powerful special sweeper, and that kind of takes that role. So Mew isn't going to be pigeonholed into that role either. And then we have Scolipede, the speed boosting monster. It's not the strongest right off the bat, but you know, it can run Swords Dance. It got that speed boost. Once you get it up and running, it hits very hard. Its move pool isn't insane, but it has enough what it needs to do. You can run its Earthquake, run its Poison Jab, Mega Horn, Throat Chop, like all that fun stuff. However, it is also an incredible spiker, and I think that's very important that a lot of people are going to underlook, because they see Mew and they might think, well, Mew's might be his hazard setter, but no, we got my Scolipede. It's going to be setting up those spikes, setting up those toxic spikes and stuff like that, and I think that's just incredibly powerful for my team, especially if I'm bringing a lot of breakers or late game sweepers, which my team has plenty of. So speaking of late game sweepers though, we have that Azumarill. Azumarill is an incredible Pokemon. Gives me my fairy type, gives me my water type, hits very hard with like that belly drum set. However, I could just run like choice band and stuff like that and do just fine. Like, this Pokemon is just fantastic. It lives hits. It's very bulky, deceptively so. You know, has a great typing in the water and fairy, and you know, just gives me a lot of presence on the team that you have to prepare for. If you kind of just have to prepare for Azumarill. Like, it's not the fastest thing in the world, but +6 Aqua Jet is going to hurt most things in this draft, which is very, very nice. So next up though, we got Moltres and Tangrowth, a very solid synergistic core right there. You know, Tangrowth is perfectly fine taking those water and electric moves that Moltres is weak to, and then on the other side, you know, Tangrowth is weak to those fire type attacks. Moltres can kind of just shrug off. Moltres is great hazard control with defog as well, so that's another role that's filled with you know, with Mew, as well as like a nice bulky kind of stall breaking Pokemon if I want to run like not like a Roost, like Will-O-Wisp set and stuff like that, or it can go on the offensive. A lot of people, I think, underestimate Moltres' offensive prowess. It is a very powerful Pokemon. You know, has incredible special attack and decent speed on that, and a very solid move pool as well, which is very cool. So, but yeah, that's pretty much about it for like the main core of the team. We do have a couple low tier picks in my Hitmonchan and Emolga. They really aren't anything crazy. I wanted to get Hitmonchan because I thought like my priority was looking a little weak before. I only really had like Azumarill with like his Aqua Jet, and then like Mew with Sucker Punch and stuff like that. So Hitmonchan is pretty cool. Gives me like a nice strong fighting type with some decent priority in like Mach Punch, Bullet Punch, and you know, stuff like that. So that seems pretty good to me, and you know, it gives me a potential knockoff switch in as well. Fighting type is just a good type in general. You know, I'm fine with having a lower tier fighting type. They typically do pretty well for me. You know, I've done pretty well with mons like Girder and even like Machoke and stuff like that. So Hitmonchan shouldn't be too bad. You know, gives me another spinner as well if I really want to go that route. But yeah, good Pokemon in general. And then Emolga, I wanted an electric type. It was for 1 point. It looked better than pretty much everything else that was available to me for electric types in 1 point, so I was like, why not? It is the best Pikachu clone by far, and to me at least, and you know, gives me another electric immunity in the motor drive ability, which is cool. Gives me another defogger if I want to. I can set up Tailwind with it. Yeah, it's nothing too crazy. You know, it ain't gonna be hitting insanely hard, but you know, it has a decent little speed tier above my Mew, which is nice, and stuff like that. And for the most part, I just wanted it because it's cute. I just like Emolga. I think it's just a cute Pokemon. It's cool. So, but yeah, so overall though, that is my team. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, as well as go check out the description where you're going to be able to see all the links to all of the other coaches in the UPBA, as well as the main home YouTube channel and Twitch for the UPBA itself. And be sure to go check out all those links, give them subs, give them likes on their videos, go check out the other draft analyses, and especially go check out the Monday Night Fights, where every Monday we're going to be having some live commentary for the UPBA draft stream and stuff like that, which is very cool. Hopefully we can get some Mondays off of work so I can participate in those. At least I know I'll be I'll be trying to commentate at least a few, because I just enjoy commentary and watching games and stuff like that. So that all said, though, thank you all so much for watching. I'm looking forward to this season of the UPBA, and to all my competitors, watch out, because I'm going for that crown this time. So all right, like, comment, sub, all that fun stuff. I love you all. Deuces.